Hey guys, this is WWE NXT superstar Dominic Dijakovic. I want you to feast your eyes on the Heel Steven YouTube channel. Make sure you like and subscribe everything on there, and be sure to check out Around the Point and The Throwback. Feast your eyes.
I know a lot of you are wondering, Steve, what the fuck? Why is your Backlash review on a Tuesday, not after the pay-per-view from this past Sunday? I did say that my plan was to do a live review of Backlash once the show went off the air, but that never happened. Didn't. By the way, I got a cut on Monday. Cut myself while cooking. Cleans the Band-Aid on that shit. So, that was the plan, by the way. By the way, this is your Backlash review. I'm going to give the review in a little bit, but I'm also going to go into details of what happened this weekend with me and the internet knowledge. My internet went out, if you're wondering. So, on Saturday, I come back home from work. By the way, I work in retail in the afternoons, and it's a lot of shit to deal with customers and all that crap, right? So, I had a long day on Saturday. Come home, I'm like, you know what? I'm going to get something to eat, watch some fights. I know the UFC was on, so I'll do that. I come to my room, and I notice that my router, because I have Verizon Fios, by the way. And for any of you that have Verizon Fios, you would know that the router, hey, there's the globe and the Wi-Fi logo in the front of the router. And there was a red globe. And I'm like, okay, this is weird. I'm wondering why my internet acting so funny. Then I noticed, hey, there's a red globe. Usually when this happens, I will just unplug the router, right? And wait 30 seconds, plug it back in. It's back to normal. And the red globe was still there. So I'm like, fuck this. Let me go to the basement where I guess the motherboard is, if you will. And again, usually with that, I'll just unplug that one as well. 30 seconds, good to go. No problem. But I noticed inside the box, there are these lights, what have you, right? And these red lights were still there. So I call Verizon up and I explain what's going on. And they're trying to do test, what have you. Keep this in mind. They kept me on the phone for like a good 45 minutes. Right? I didn't eat anything. I was still hungry and shit. And then the guy's like, listen, we tried to do all these tests and nothing. So we're gonna have to send you a technician. And I'm like, fine, no problem. And I'm like, by when? Why can you send me this technician? They're like, oh, we can send him there Monday in the afternoon between 1:30 p.m. and 3:30 p.m. And the thing was, I needed the technician for Sunday, not because of the pay-per-view or, oh my God, I gotta watch this show. Because again, I ended up watching Backlash on my phone, right? On my fucking data, whatever. But more because, hey, my mother from time to time works from home, travel agent. My grandmother watches TV. And that's her distraction from what's going on. So she needed TV. Granted, my grandmother was at my aunt's house for the weekend, so it was what it was. So I kept telling him, like, listen, I know you guys can send me one on Sunday. And this and whatnot. And the guy tried to explain to me, oh, you know, we already have these guys assigned. If you want, we can put you on standby for Sunday. We'll let you know. I wasn't trying to hear all that. Fuck it. It was what it was. Wasn't my help to die? All right, come on Monday. Get here Monday, whatever. Fine. So I'm waiting on Monday from 1:30 to 3:30. These guys don't show up till 3:20. I shit you not. So the guy shows up and he's like, all I gotta do is this and you'll be okay. He looks at the board. He goes to the outside. He goes to, I guess, where the cables are connected, whatever, on the outside. And he literally leaves my house at 3:33 with everything fixed. He explained to me that apparently there's construction being done in the area because of the pandemic. And whoever did the work, I guess, pulled some plugs out and shit and fucked up my internet and many other people as well. So I got my internet back. Hence why this review is late. I had all these stuff planned out. My plan was also to upload this past Saturday at night the latest episode of The Throwback, which is already up on the channel. By the way, myself and Big Mike from Big Mike's Wrestling Recap Show, we recapped WWE's Invasion 2001. If you've not checked that out, go give it a listen. Yes, there's bad echoes. It's fine. It is what it is, out of my control. But we'll fix that. We promise. But it's worth a listen. It's also available on all the audio platforms you can listen to a podcast on. Apple Podcasts, Stitcher, and Spotify. Go give it a listen. the latest episode of The Throwback. But yeah, this is your Backlash 2020 review. And again, I did watch the show on my mobile device, on the data plan, what have you. Overall, I thought, okay, going into the show, was Edge and Randy Orton, right, with the match they were advertising, was it going to be the greatest wrestling match of all time? Now, for a lot of people, again, they'll give you a different response. To sit there and advertise a match as the greatest match of all time, it's a bold statement. It really, really is. So when all this advertisement was coming out, promoting this as the greatest match of all time, I'm like, yo, you guys are WWE, that is. But like I said before, depending on who you talk to, they'll give you a different answer every single time. For some people, the greatest match of all time is something different. For some people, it's Ric Flair and Ricky Steamboat. For some people, it's, I don't know, Hulk Hogan and Ultimate Warrior. For some people, it's Bret Hart and Shawn. For some people, it's Rock and Austin. For some people, fuck, it's Okada and Omega from Wrestle Kingdom, depending who you talk to. And they'll give you a different answer. There really isn't the greatest match of all time or the greatest wrestling match ever. There never will be. Because for everyone, it's a different opinion, if you will. But did I think that these two guys went out there and gave everyone the greatest match ever? No. Was it a good match? Yes. Did I enjoy it? Yes. Was the whole sound effects of making it seem like they were in a sold-out building annoying? Yes. I'll get into that later on. But if you actually enjoyed Backlash, give me your thoughts in the comments below. If not, let me know on Twitter at HeelSteven. I thought the show, honestly, was meh, to be honest. The card did look weak going into the show. But the show felt honestly like, again, it felt like a weak card, but two things on the show did it for me. Hell, I'll even say three, believe it or not. And I'll get into that in a little bit too. All right? I didn't watch the kickoff show because honestly, I didn't have time. I was at work and all that shit. I got home around 7 o'clock. So I didn't watch the kickoff show. It was Andrade and Apollo Crews for the U.S. title, which apparently Apollo did retain. Hence why on Monday he did face was it Shelton Benjamin, and he was still the U.S. champ, but that's besides the point. Okay, so there was that. Apparently Kevin Owens was on commentary helping out Apollo Crews to even things out. He did stun Angel Garza, so there was that. We get to the main card. We start things off with the women's tag team championship match. Triple threat, Sasha Banks and Bayley defending the titles against Alexa Bliss and Nikki Cross and the Iconics. Now, I don't know why the Iconics were in the match. I get it. I guess on Raw, they were feuding with Nikki Cross and Alexa Bliss when they were champs. And they never got their, I guess, one. I mean, they did technically on Raw where they ended in disqualification because apparently Peyton was too aggressive and shit like that. But other than that, honestly, this match did nothing for me. Nothing. No one gave a shit. I guarantee you that. I know they'll make it seem like the crowd was excited, but again, they're bots. These crowds are fucking bots. They're programmed to cheer. You might as well give them a fucking applause sign in the performance center and they'll all clap. Might as well. Point is, though, at the end of this whole thing, right, Alexa Bliss went for the Twist of Bliss, to which Sasha stole the win. And that's how it was. Sasha and Bayley retained their titles. And there's that. I know this is leading up to them breaking up. Hopefully, but we'll see. From there, we go to the second match on the show. We had Sheamus versus Jeff Hardy, the junkie Jeff Hardy, if you will. And I gotta say, this match, I enjoy the fact that it had a video package promoting the match. I did not see the whole thing on SmackDown, thank God, where Jeff Hardy threw piss at Sheamus, even though they took that bit from a segment from many years ago. I know that for a fact. So, I think it was Shawn and Vince back in the day. So the match, for what it was, it told a good story. It told the story, hey, here's Sheamus having his way with Jeff Hardy, right? And Jeff Hardy, who is trying to show a good example for his family, for his daughter, trying to overcome all adversity, right? Trying to go back in that dark place. And here he is. He gets some offense back. There's a moment where he does a swanton, and I thought it was over, but Shane put his foot on the bottom rope. When it was all said and done, Jeff Hardy came short. He came up short in this whole thing after he got brogue kicked, and that was it. And Jeff Hardy lost. And it's funny, too, because outside of the ring and during the match, Jeff Hardy does a thing where he'll like run the barricade and he'll jump, and he got caught with a brogue kick as well. But it was all said and done. The brogue kick did it for Jeff, and that was it. Sheamus got his win, as I kind of expected. Made sense, if you will. This is not the end of this feud. We're probably going to get another match out of this. At the same time, right, talking about Jeff Hardy in this dark place. Can you imagine? Again, I doubt it'll ever happen because I don't think they'll ever do it in WWE. But just imagine, though, if his dark place, he comes out as Will-O-the-Wisp to challenge Sheamus. Again, this is an idea. Don't get our hopes up, I know, but who the fuck knows, right? From there, we get we get Asuka versus Nia Jax for the Raw Women's title. This match was a dud. I guess back and forth, but still, no one gave a shit. I still didn't give a fuck about this. Ended in the double count out. So in a way, you don't make Asuka look weak. You don't make Asuka look like shit. Even though, yeah, many years ago in NXT, Asuka did beat Nia Jax. Let's not forget that, right? They want us to forget that. So what I got from all this, hey, they're going to continue this program going forward. So there's that. But you don't want to make either one look weak for what it was worth. So there's that. Whatever. From there, we get the handicap match between Braun Strowman defending the Universal title, or in case what Chase would say, the greatest Royal Rumble title, right? Care Bear, that is, right? Versus John Morrison and The Miz. I did find the video package funny where they wrecked his car, that being Strowman's car, and Strowman flipping over the van where Morrison and Miz were and shit like that. Here's the thing about it, okay? The idea of doing a handicap match for a championship, for a singles title, on TV, it's fine. If it was on SmackDown, no problem. But you're doing this on a pay-per-view. No. On a pay-per-view, it doesn't fly with me. It's not. I know they did it years ago with, was it Booker T and Shane versus The Rock for the WCW title back in 2001. I think that was Unforgiven, I think it was. I could be wrong on that one. But still, even that, no. The idea of a handicap match for a title just on a pay-per-view. The match was predictable as all shit. Let Sheamus and Miz, who performed a new song, by the way, hey, hey, ho, 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 some shit like that, right? Get all this offense in on Braun Strowman. I think that's just Sheamus, but if I did, I apologize. Right? Let them get all this offense in on Braun Strowman. Right? Make you think that, hey, they have a chance. Holy shit. There's a moment where you thought Morrison was going to win, and Miz pulls Morrison off Braun Strowman, and it's like, what the fuck? To which then, you see Braun Strowman get his offense back, and he does the running power slam on Morrison for the 1, 2, 3. You see Miz just in disbelief. This is done in a way to lead up to that eventual split. There's talks of Morrison turning heel on the Miz, which I'm fine with, honestly. And there you go with that. We're off to the races. But this match did nothing for me. I didn't give a shit about it. Apparently this Friday on SmackDown, The Fiend or Bray Wyatt does return. So we'll go back to that program, I guess, right? Where The Fiend will now face Braun. So there's that. We go from there to the Universal, to the, we go from there to the WWE Championship match between Drew McIntyre defending the championship versus the almighty Bobby Lashley. Now, I know a lot of people going into this match were shitting on it. Oh, it's a crappy match, this and that. I knew these two guys could go. If you watch your stuff from TNA back in like 2015, 2016, I think 2017, one of those 3 years. I think it's likely 2017. I think these two guys main evented a Slammiversary or Bound for Glory, one or the other. You knew these two guys can go. No doubt about it. And I thought they went out there and they had a very good match. A match that everyone thought they were going to shit on. Oh my God, this is terrible. Actually was one of the matches that stole the show, in my humble opinion. Until we got to the end where Lana came out and she got on the apron and caused Bobby got him distracted. And Lana landed on MVP and then got Claymore for the 1, 2, 3. But these two guys, like I said before, the match overall was great. They're beating the fuck out of each other. It looked believable as shit. But at the end of the day, Drew McIntyre retained. And if you watch on Raw from last night, this whole thing where MVP and Bobby won another championship match. They felt they deserve a new one because what happened during the Backlash. They had that tag team match with R-Truth and McIntyre versus MVP and Lashley, which it was what it was. But I do hope that we do get another match at a pay-per-view, likely at Extreme Rules, where we'll see what happens. But nonetheless, though, again, they had a good match. People weren't expecting it, but they delivered. That's a good, I guess, if you ask me. From there, we go to what was supposed to be, I believe, the tag team title match for the Raw tag team title, the Street Profits and the Viking Raiders. We're going to get that, but they show them outside the Performance Center brawling. And I think they land on Braun's car. And I knew where this was going to go right when that happened. Like, yeah, they went the whole cinematic route with these four guys here. I mean, think about it, right? If you're going to go the cinematic route with any people on the roster, on the main roster you just knew it was going to be with these four guys. Now, I know a lot of people were crapping on it. They were shitting on the whole thing. This is garbage. They turned Akira Tozawa into a fucking ninja. I saw that today on Twitter. Smart to death. But that's besides the point. Okay? Do I think the whole thing with Tozawa being a ninja was stupid? Yes, it is. I'll agree with it. But, dude, did I honestly hate what I saw from all four guys and then the whole ninjas and Tozawa and all that shit? Honestly, no. I thought it was funny as hell. I'm not going to lie to you guys. And again, I enjoy sometimes stuff like that. I have like a soft spot for it, believe it or not. Yes, is the cinematic route, has it been overdone now? Yes, 2020 will be known as the year of the cinematic wrestling matches, right? You had the Boneyard match, the Firefly Funhouse match, One Final Beat, Stadium Stampede. Now this, whatever the fuck you want to call this shit. So yeah, I didn't hate it like everyone else did. Could have been better, yes. But at the end of the day, do you just want them to have a fucking regular tag team match where no one's going to give a shit? I don't think so. So I was okay with this, like I said. I was okay with it 100%. And if you had a problem with me being with it, suck it, dorks. Anyway, from there we go to the main event. The greatest wrestling match ever. Edge and Randy Orton. Like I said earlier, for a lot of people, the quote-unquote greatest wrestling match ever, it's a different answer. Like I mentioned earlier, some people it's Ric Flair and Steamboat. For some people, it's Steve Austin and The Rock. For some people, it's Bret and Shawn. For some people, it's Hogan and Warrior. For some people, it's, I don't know, Ric Flair and Dusty Rhodes or Harley Race. You kind of get the idea, right? Or hell, for some people, it's, I guess, Dory Funk Jr. and Jack Briscoe. Just throwing a name out there. Or hell, for some people, it's Kenny Omega and Kazuchika Okada from Wrestle Kingdom 11. Again, depends who you talk to, the answer will be different when it comes to, hey, what is the greatest wrestling match ever? I said this earlier and I'll say it again. Was this match good? Yes. Did it deliver in my opinion? Absolutely. If there was two guys that could have attempted to make this the greatest match ever, Edge and Orton. Why the fuck not? However, was this the greatest match ever? Fuck no. They had a whole different camera angle. They had a GoPro in the middle turnbuckle. They had Charles Robinson in the old school 1990s, 80s WWF jersey with the fucking bow tie, which I thought was funny as hell. They had Howard Finkel do a voice narration of introducing Randy Orton and Edge. They had the old MSG microphone come down from the ceiling. I thought that was cool too, what it was worth. Then we get to the match. There were moments where Edge was slipping, if you will, to try to make him feel like, hey, he missed a couple things here and there. But other than that, I feel like these two guys went out there and they delivered. They went out there and just gave it their all. And one thing that I noticed, you can have a good match, but you don't need to, without having to do a super kick. Holy crap, there was not one super kick throughout this whole match. And these two guys delivered. There was no suicide dive off the top rope. No tope suicidas. Yes, there was kicking out of finishers here and there, but fuck, it wasn't overdone. Did it go long too? Yes. Was this better than the shit from WrestleMania? Absolutely. But when it was all said and done, Randy Orton hit the, I guess he had like a low blow. Like apparently Edge went for the vice grip or the Viper's grip or the fuck he's calling that standing triangle choke. And Orton low blow, like he kneed him, I guess, in the groin. And then he went for the punk kick. What was the last time we seen the punk kick? Granted, this past Monday on Christian, but still, prior to that and prior to Backlash, had it been years. Like he would tease it. I remember in a match with Jinder Mahal for the WWE title, he teased the punt kick and it got stopped. But that's beside the point, though. So Orton gets the win, as he should have. Again, Edge won at WrestleMania. Orton gets his win back. Apparently now Edge is actually injured because of all of this. There were reports early in the day that he got hurt. He'll likely be out for 6 to 9 months, which will suck because now what do you do? You know what I mean? So likely, I'm assuming once this whole Bobby Lashley and Drew program is done, likely at SummerSlam, we do Drew McIntyre versus Randy Orton. Likely, that would make sense to me. But that's what I see happening. But other than that, I thought Backlash, honestly, was a show that was meh. The card was weak going into the show. 3 things, in my opinion, delivered. Like I mentioned, the WWE title match between Bobby Lashley and Drew. The little cinematic thing with the Street Profits and the Viking Raiders, believe it or not. For me, that is, right? And then the final thing between Edge and Orton and your quote-unquote greatest wrestling match ever. But I want to ask you guys your thoughts. Again, give me your thoughts on the show. Did you enjoy it or not? What match did you not like? What match did you like? And all that fun stuff. Follow me on Twitter at HeelSteven. If you're new to the channel, hit that subscribe button down below and give it a big old thumbs up. And as always, hate, comment, and subscribe. Don't forget, guys, check out the latest episode of The Throwback, myself and Big Mike, as we recapped Invasion 2001. Till next time, y'all, I'm out. I'm Steve. I'll see y'all next video. Peace out, dorks.